start one new series in which I will be explaining you how to write Jenkins effective pipelines using Groovy scripts. So before starting that, I am going to explain you like a few of the important instructions which we used in Jenkins pipeline. Okay, so today's topic is directives. So I have written one sample pipeline over here so that I can explain you better. So in Jenkins pipeline, a directive is an instruction that provides guidance to the Jenkins pipeline engine on how to execute the pipeline steps. Okay, directives are used to configure various aspects of pipeline, such as defining where to run. So I have used this agent directive over here. Okay, the certain stages where to run, and the setting environment variables. For that I have used this environment directive, and specifying the agent labels. So this is where to run, is where I'm going, where this particular pipeline is going to execute. So stages, like what all stages are being used in this particular pipeline, and this the post directive. Okay, so let me explain you these common directives one by one. Okay, in this pipeline directive, so this is the top level directive that defines the entire pipeline. Okay, if I show you, see, entire, all the things are inside this pipeline only. Okay, all the directives are in this pipeline only, I should say that. And it can specify the agent and stages, environment, options, and this post directive as well, and there can be many more. And this agent directive, the second one, this is this agent directive. This directive specifies where this pipeline should run, either on this specific agent or on the any agent. We can provide any as well. Okay, and then we have this options directive. So this options directive is used to specify global options. Okay, for the pipeline, such as the timeout, when the build discarder, when, like, how many builds we are going to keep, and we can have one more retry, like how many times if this pipeline fails, so how many retry options should be there. All these settings we provide here. And then we have this environment directive. This directive allows us to set environment variables that will be available to all the steps within the pipeline. Okay, and then we have this post directive. This post directive, then we have this stages directive. This stages directive defines the individual stages of the pipeline, each stage, I should say. And this each stage can have its own steps as well. Okay, and then we have this post directive. This post directive defines actions to be taken after the pipeline execution. Okay, then once the pipeline execution is done, based upon the success or failure, what action should be taken. For example, on success, I want to just print it, and just print this message, pipeline is succeeded. And and on the failure, I want to send this email to particular group of people or particular person. So all these are the stages, all these are the directives. Okay, these are just a few examples of directives in Jenkins pipeline. So if I summarize this, these directives help us to define structure and behavior of our CI/CD pipeline. Okay, to making it flexible and powerful for building, testing, and deploying our application. Okay, here, and I would like to explain this buildDiscarder because we use it commonly. This particular configuration, this particular configuration is used to manage the number of build logs that are retained for a particular job in Jenkins. Okay, so let's break this code, and let me explain that way. This buildDiscarder, this is a step, or we should say this is again a directive inside options directive. So used to Jenkins pipeline to configure how old builds should be discarded. Okay, how old build should be discarded. And this logRotator is one of the strategies available for configuring build log retention. Okay, in this case, it's being used to specify that build log should be retained based on the number of builds to keep. So here, number of builds to keep, so I have given here number to keep string is 20. It means this particular part of code, this one, specify that Jenkins should keep a maximum 20 build logs. Like in other words, only the most recent 20 builds will have their logs retained. Okay, and other build logs will be deleted to free up the disk space. Okay, this configuration ensures this particular configuration, this buildDiscarder, this particular configuration ensures that only the last 20 build logs for the associated job are kept, and other build logs are automatically discarded. Okay, this is useful to manage the disk space usage in Jenkins, especially for the projects with a high volume or high volume of builds. Okay, so we can adjust this number 20 to our requirement, as per our requirement. Okay, that's all for and this timeout, like after particular time, after 1 hour, this if that particular job keeps running, so this job should fail. Default check, this skip default checkout, so it's skip checking out code from source control by default in the agent directive. So this is for that particular purpose. So all these options we can use, these all options are provided by Jenkins. Okay, that's all for now. See you in next lecture.